Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Italian Job 2, the sequel to the very fun original, but this time we've brought one of our favorite cards along, the Synthesizer. Not only are we up to all our original shenanigans, but we've got Robot Overlords to help our cause. We've got the bounce, the ramp, card draw, and of course, the replication. We've kept the payload of desert lands as a way of dealing out potentially lethal damages, using mana and the ability to copy our lands multiple times. We can still steal the opponent's permanents, including all their lands. Let's get in there. We're playing Into the Flood Maw, the early bounce spell that can help us keep an early enemy off the board. We can also gift a tapped fish token and bounce any non-land permanent back to the opponent's hand. It's a great way to slow them down and give us a chance to set up our board. Stormchaser's talent is a powerful card in the deck. It lets us get back an instant or sorcery from our grave back to our hand. That's the most important ability, but getting a token is also very beneficial. It's an effective blocker that can help keep our life total from going down too quickly. The level 3 ability is not one we'll try for too often, but if we need it, we can use it to get a token with every instant and sorcery we fire off. Auroral Procession is a great tool if we have a card that we want back from the grave. This will get anything back to give it a second shot. We'll be able to get a land back, particularly a fabled passage that we've used to be able to fetch out another land, or even a synthesizer that has been destroyed. Plus, it is an instant, so we can get it back with a talent to get back cards that aren't instants or sorceries. Doppelgang is our powerful replication tool. We can use it to copy our permanents or even the opponent's. The aim is to copy our factory outlet, talents, lands, confiscate, and our virtue. These cards often give us a huge advantage, and the advantage can be multiplied the more of them we have on board. The Synthesizer is a powerful weapon that will generate Robot Overlords with every artifact we get in play that is 3 mana or more. It doesn't matter if the artifacts are played out from our hand or our token copies of artifacts we already have in play. This makes our Doppelgang even more dangerous, as we can focus on copying artifacts to get the maximum number of Robot Overlords. Stock Up has been such a powerful tool since our previous cards were banned in the original version that we've kept the card here too. It's a great card to help find something we need, as it digs us 5 cards deep and we can get the 2 best cards out of the 5. Ancient Cornucopia, the Horn of Plenty, gives us plenty to work with. It ramps us as well as giving us crucial color fixing. And on top of that, it also gains us life with every card we play out. We get even more life when we play out cards that are more than one color. It's an excellent card to duplicate, as the life gain can often be very difficult for the opponent to overcome when we're gaining 3 life or more per turn. Map the Frontier is our pure ramp card. With it we can fetch out a pair of lands, basics, or deserts, and get us a couple of mana more, as well as help fix the colors we have on board. Getting 2 extra lands can never be underestimated, as that gives us a huge boost to be able to play out our pricier cards and even power out a bigger Doppelgang. And big Doppelgangs are what we're about. The opponent loves them too. Sunfall is our board wipe. It exiles men, so we're guaranteed to take out all men on board. There is no surviving this, no matter what abilities the enemy men might have. Indestructible gets shrugged off, and hexproof doesn't even matter. When you need men gone, you bring the sun down on the enemy men. Get out of town, Charlie Brown. Confiscate is our way to steal the opponent's cards. Take note that it doesn't specify non-land permanents, so even lands are a target when we play this out. Copy it a few times, and the opponents will likely be scrambling for the concede button. Sure, there might be hexproof men, but we have ways of dealing with those. Once we've stolen the opponent's stuff, it will be incredibly difficult for them to mount a comeback. GG's, bro, and thanks for coming on the big show. The Green Virtue is a powerful tool that will multiply the amount of mana we have available to us. With 1 on board, our basic lands will generate triple the amount of mana, and it triples again if we have a second one in play. Making copies makes it so that we can generate a giant pile of mana, as much as several hundred and sometimes even thousands of mana from each basic land. This advantage makes it easy to take down opponents. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land that can be sacrificed to fetch out a basic land. 3 lush oases, the Simic Desert. 3 creosote heath, the Selesnya Desert. 3 lonely arroyo, the Azorius Desert. 4 forest, 4 island, and 3 plains. Playing the deck is fun and mostly straightforward. It's all about ramping and dealing with enemy men, much like the original. This time around, though, we aim to use our duplication efforts to make multiple copies of our factory outlet. We can still steal the opponent's permanents, but we've got more ways to win with the addition of the synthesizer. Our early turns are about setting up our board and keeping enemy men in check. Ramp to help get our virtue and any confiscates down. Ramping also lets us power out bigger doppelgangs, and those are usually the tipping point that begins to tilt the game in our favor. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Queen's fantasy, but is it the final one? Also, she thinks she's brilliant, like a light bulb. We're kicking things off with a 4-lander. We're missing the green for the Horn of Plenty, so this is a risk. Keep your hopes up. All we got is the talent. Let's play it out, and hopefully we get better draws as the game goes on. Their first play is a Zach Johnny fair play. Fair enough. I like that they're fully expecting their men to die. We get a green mana. If we're to draw mana, at least let it be the one we need. Now we're set. Wow. Half the cards in their hand were artifacts and 2 of the 3 were equipment. That's a lot of gear for the one guy they have on board. That's kind of why I avoid equipment decks. You draw too much of one and not enough of the other. An ass tore. What happened to your rear end, bro? It's tore? That's information we didn't need to know. Please don't tell me how it happened. I know you want to. We draw a stock up and we'll fire it off. Let's find some ammo because lands are not ammo. Do we dare go for the double stock up? You bet your hind end we do. Our next set of 5 shows us a factory and a Sunfall. We'll take both of those. They play out a whip that generates a token, and the token gets double strike. Scary. I might have to put on sturdier pants. They gear up, then send it. Yeah, we'll block the double strike guy. That's 8 damages we can avoid taking. It's time to clear out this board. We don't need to see these enemy men on the other side of the board. Get gone, girls. They saved their Zach Johnny fair play by sacrificing him, but that doesn't save any of their other men. We'll be smelling them later. Much, much later. A lightning is their next play. It's weird her name is Lightning, but doesn't have haste. Oops. They gear up their one dude until we're pretty sure she couldn't carry anything else. That's cool, bro. Tell me more. We'll grab our Sunfall right out of the grave for a second go. I mean, next time around, that thing will gain double strike. Let's not live to see that day. Get gone, bro. And we have enough mana for our stock up. Let's grab the next set of weaponry. That's another synthesizer just waiting to be picked up. We'll also take the bounce. They likely don't have many more men to play out, and if they do, it'll only be one, and we can simply bounce it before we send in the Robot Overlords. They play out a Nintendo Power Glove. It's a sign they don't have men to play out. Gotta love these equip decks. We draw into a third factory outlet. Prices are in a downward spiral. We'll be able to ship units out for free. Get them while they're hot. On top, we have a Doppelgang and ramp underneath it. We'll keep them both, and in that order. We already have enough to doppel for 2, and that's enough to make copies of the talent and a synthesizer. We could play out the third factory, but let's hold up our bounce spell in case they drop a blocker. That's 0 plays for them. No blockers to stop the inbound freight train, called a Robot Overlord. We'll play out our third factory, then send in our AI to smash face. On top we have a pair of ramp spells, but we'll only take one. Let's take our talent up to level 2 and get back a stock up. We're firing on all cylinders and we want to make sure we can keep the flow going. They give us the GGs, then smash our Robot Overlords. We do have more on the way, so they'll need to be able to wipe the board every turn. We'll flip one of our incubators at the end of their turn. Then they pack it up and get the smell out of town. This is easy AC ID. I'm not sure why you want to ID your AC. Is it under arrest? We get another 4-lander to start. We've got double passage and double procession to help us dig out the colors we need. It's not terrible, not great either, but we'll give it a shot. Keep. Wait a minute, mono red without plays through their first 2 turns? They kept a slow hand? Oh, I see, they Scrooged it and kept a shuffler special. Brilliant move, bro. We'll play out our talent this turn and get a little buddy that wants to get in for face slaps. They play out a fear, so it looks like they're not the classical mono red. They use their fear to toss out an Arden. The Reanimator cheese is what they brought. We'll want to get to confiscate mana on schedule. If we can steal one of their lands, we'll take away a lot of their power and leave them struggling. Then we copy. They play out the Rakdos Surveil land. They are 1 mana away from Zombify. They send it, but we're not giving up our Otter token. He will cling to his mortal coil. We draw a Cornucopia, and that will make sure we get to play out our Confiscate without having to use a procession to get back a passage. We'll fire back with our pumped-up Otter. We've got bounce, so there's no fear of them hitting their reanimation. They throw down a Tursa Light Shatter that should help them find a fourth land. They toss out more big boys, but those are useless when they're in the grave. Gotta get out somehow, and we might be able to deny them that chance. This is a little more damage than we'd like to be taking. We'll bounce their light-shattering fool. By the time we see her again, we'll own one of their lands. They come in for 0 damages because we're about to gain a pair of life with the procession. Question is, what do we get? Let's take the bounce just for security. We draw another bounce anyways. That's extra security now. It's time for Confiscate to do its thing. We'll take the Rakdos land as it's their only source of black. Then we'll send in our Otter for face slaps. We're fine trading blows. We've got a slight edge on them now and an even bigger advantage once we Doppelgang. They smash our Otter with a big dino. They must have seen what we saw. We'll take our talent to level 2 and get back the procession, which will get us the passage. After we fetch out a land, we'll have enough mana for a Doppel of 2, and we'll gang it up in here. Terra Light Beer comes back down, but note that there is no fourth land. We'll bounce their men. They like tossing cards so much, we'll make them toss another at the end of their turn. It's time to Doppel for 2. We'll copy the talent to be able to get back our Doppelgang later, and we'll copy the Confiscate. Let's nab some lands. What's hilarious is with their lands, we can procession the Doppel back to our hand and fire it off again for 2. A Pyroclasm? Bro, that's so mean. The Doppel will end the game surely, but so will some bounce, right? Or if we get the procession back to get back a passage, then we can Doppel for 3. Oh wait, GG's bro, extra cheese. This is Yu Sing E.R. born pooped out in 1987. She came out with all that armor. We get an excellent 3-lander. We've got a factory as well as a cornucopia. The other cards are gravy in my boat. Keep your pants on. We'll play out the talent. Let's see if the token makes them concerned. A lot of opponents like to burn removal on the Otter. We draw a stock up, which will be perfect for finding other useful cards. It's time for the factory outlet to fire up the production lines. Prices will be slashed. All inventory must go. We have 2 lands on top. We can keep one, but the other must go. For now, the Otter must slap. He's got a mind of his own, he does. An Innocence comes down. There will be tokens, apparently. We'll play out the Horn of Plenty, then send in our pumped-up Otter. We told him not to, but he did it anyways. Loves his slaps. They play out another Innocence. It's like the clone army up in here. We draw another Synthesizer, and that will be our play. We too can clone it up. On top, we have a Bounce and a Confiscate. We'll take the Bounce first. We don't quite have enough to steal something anyway. Let's get in there. Shipping to the face is free for the first 10 customers, and this is customer number 3. Enjoy the Robot Overlord. They have to use a removal to take it out, but we'll get more later. They plant an Elspeth. That's something that would be Confiscate worthy. How could we say no to double the tokens? We'll fire off stock up this turn. We need mana and some weapons. This is a tricky grab. We definitely need the land, and a case could be made for any of the other 3 cards, but grabbing the stock up for another go with the Procession sounds pretty good to me. And we have the talent as well to level up. They play out a Caretaker's talent. Talk about card draw to the max. They've got 3 cards coming when they generate a pair of tokens with Elspeth. They go for a Voice of Victory. If it lands, we won't be able to play anything else out, so we'll have to fire off our Procession now. Let's hope stock up gives us some excellent cards. Stock up in to stock up. And we'll want to grab a land. At the moment, we are 1 mana short of a Doppel for 2. We'll go with the second stock up. The drinking game word for this video is stock up. You hear stock up, drink, stock up. We'll grab the Sunfall here, that's easy, but our next card has to be the talent or the Synthesizer. You know how we roll around here? Let's stock up on Synthesizer. We'll end the turn by bouncing their Voice of Victory. That'll be too many damages coming at us if it stays on board. They even play the 4-mana Elspeth. They are all in on the token plan. One could say they have stocked up on tokens.
Ready arms!
You'd have to be blind to not have seen that coming.
Wings of light!
There's so many men on board we have to hit the reset button. We'll get a fat incubator thanks to their clone army. We'll follow up with our third factory outlet. They'll have more than enough blockers to stop our AI men, but it's still better to have 3 factories in play over only 2. They play out a Ka-Beza and get an instant fish army. At this rate, we might just sit around and watch them deck themselves. They do have double talents, though, and that's pretty dangerous if we don't deal with their tokens. That's a lot of nice men over there. It would be a shame if something happened to them. We'll clear out the board of men, and then we can assassinate the cloning Elspeth. Should have brought sturdier pants.
You can still win this war.
If we can get the chance to drop this virtue down, it'll end the game. We'd be able to clone it up even better than them. It's all right, boys. They just had another Elspeth to keep cloning their token men.
The multiverse will be free from this scourge. We fight together! More heroes for the cause.
We draw another talent. It's excellent, but this turn we'll want to doppel it up in here. If a clone army is what they want, then a clone army is what we'll give them.
I will turn the tide.
On top we have a procession and a land. We'll keep the procession. Then we have bounce under the procession, but let's take the bounce first. Before we swing in, let's flip our other incubator, then we can give the team a boost, as well as flying thanks to their Elspeth. Now they can't block, and we can take down their Planeswalker team. Get gone, girls. It's their turn to Sunfall the men away, but from here on out, I think we can win the clone army war. We still have Elspeth, and we can easily get back the Doppel to gang up again. One whole token? That's very mighty indeed, bro. We'll throw down the virtue this turn. Always remember, the auto tapper will mess with you when playing it out. They don't want to see the doppel that's coming and get out of here so fast, you'd think they stained their shorts. GG's, bro. The cheese was coming. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.